Greetings, my name's Harry Oweda and I'm going to be your e-learning advisor and also your unit coordinator for the subject Networks and Cybersecurity Frameworks. The code is CYB0004. And this subject's about networks and cybersecurity frameworks. And what I'll be doing today through this video presentation is talk a little bit about myself and also what's expected of you as students while you're working with us in this unit. So a bit of background. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I've worked in IT for a significant long time. I have a cybersecurity master's degree, so master's in cyber, and I'm currently employed full-time with the Royal Australian Navy, teaching them cybersecurity, building labs, teaching the sailors how to use the technologies that they will be performing when they're getting deployed out to sea. So, which is an exciting. I do teach swim and online subjects as well, and I've been doing that for about 7 or 8 months now. So, that's about me. We'll go into have a look at the unit itself. The first thing we'll go through is something that's really important. We'll look at the discussions board because Swim Online is something that, as a university, that prides itself on being engaging and collaborative, and it's really critical that your students engage regularly. So I'll quickly discuss with you about the discussion board and where to find the different discussion boards and how to post, and a little bit more other information as well. First of all, so I'll just go back a bit. This is the front page. Yours might look a bit different, but you'll go to discussions. Now, these are the general discussions. If you were in subjects where there were hundreds of students, they would be broken up into several different learning groups. We only have the one learning group with our cohort. So you can click here wherever you see that link, and that'll take you to the start of the discussion board. Or if you want to, you can scroll down. I've set up the links on every discussion board there. So this will take you to the group 1 discussion board. So for example, if you go down to the 8.4 discussion board, you can click here. Or I've made it convenient. I've made it easy for you just to click on that particular part where we're expecting you to post discussions. So discussion board is very useful because this is by far the best, most efficient and quickest way to have your questions answered. I will respond between 24 and 48 hours once you ask a question. Now, I check the discussion boards daily, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. On my mobile phone, I have Canvas as well, so I'm going to say that'll be quicker than that. But officially, 24 to 48 hours, which includes weekends and public holidays. So if you ask a question on a Friday, be expected to get an answer in the discussion board on the weekend, even if it's a public holiday. Very, very important that you post on the discussion board. The best way to learn is to be engaging and to collaborate with others. Learning passively, while some can do well learning that way, but being engaging, being interactive is by far the best way to learn. And the discussion board is really, really good way for you to engage with us and other students. And again, I will answer any questions in the discussion board first. The other way that we're going to communicate with each other is via phone. I will do my best to call each and every student maybe once or twice a week. I'll at least leave a message. And this is an opportunity for you as students to directly communicate with me one-to-one. And you can take as long as you like with that. You can take 5 minutes, an hour. It's completely up to you. And I'll assist you on anything that you need help with. If you don't want to receive a telephone call, or if you're working, or if you're the type of person who doesn't really like communicating on the phone, that's fine. Just let me know And we've got the discussion boards, and we've also got emails as well. The telephone call is just to make sure that everything's okay, that you have everything you need, and that you can ask me directly a question. The other way is to email me. I will respond to emails within 24 to 48 hours, but I will answer the questions in the discussion board first. I give discussion boards complete priority. Now, the first task I will get everyone to do, and everyone must do this. This is essential for everyone, is to go into the discussion one and introduce yourself. And I've got the link there in the general discussion board that'll take you to the learning group 1. So I'm going to do a quick introduction, and I'm going to put it here, and then you will all respond. I'm hoping that you will all respond with video, because a couple of the assignments have video parts as a part of the assignment. So you'll need to get into the habit of video recording. If you, for some reason, you can't on this instance, it's okay to post something without video, but I highly encourage you to record videos and send them. Okay, so if we go back to this part, the front part here, a couple of contacts. I am your ELA, e-learning advisor, but I'm also your unit coordinator, so you can contact me on the same email address. Again, 24 to 48 hours, like seven days a week, public holidays or weekend. I'll hope to get to answer your question. And just move my head out of the way. Student advisors can be contacted at help@swinburneonline.com. Alright, oops, don't know what's wrong with my software here, it's misbehaving. Okay, alright, so let's have a look at the syllabus. Try to say that 5 times, syllabus, that's a tough one. But anyway, we have 3 assignments, and I'll go through those assignments with you shortly. But what is this course? What actually are we here to learn? It's something that's really interesting and exciting for me as an ELA. This is something that I do in the real world. I also create course content for Certificate 4 and Advanced Diploma level cybersecurity classes for different RTOs as well. So, but the way that we're going to go through this is going to help you if you do get a job in the real world, and it'll help you with your other academic studies as well. So we're going to look at how traffic from one place gets to another, and we're going to look at how we're going to secure that, because when the internet was created, when networking first came into being, instead of using what we used to call sneakernet, where you get a floppy disk drive, take it from one computer and run to another, when the IT experts and the computer scientists got together, they needed a way to find strategies or find ways for traffic information to flow to another part. So we're going to look at this at a layered approach: physical, data, networking, transport, and then so on. Now, in those days, when these were first being formulated, security was not an issue at the time. There was no hackers. There was no way from the general public to be able to get access to that. So later on, security was as an afterthought, and it was added on to the way that network flows. So the security part is something that we're going to look at and consider as well. They go hand in hand in this subject. I'm going to look at it a layered approach. So what I mean by layer, if we look at the physical layer or the physical aspect of security, think in terms of a security guard, a dog patrolling a perimeter, cameras, lighting, locks, things like that, things of a physical nature. But if you go up to the second layer, the data link layer, for example, of the OSI model, and we'll go through that. If you don't know what that means, no problems, we'll talk about that. But that's like your physical switches, port security. Then we go to the network layer, like IPsec. how to encrypt IP traffic, network traffic, and then we go to layer 4, which is a transport layer, and we can do things like like security blocking certain port numbers and so forth. So we'll continue on with that. So we're going to examine, we're going to have a look at different cyber security threats. They're not just a hacker with a big wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses and that looks shady, sitting in a bunker somewhere or a granny flat. I don't know. It's not just about that. There are different security attack vectors as well, and people have different motivations for attacking your network. They're not just people who drink a lot of Red Bull and eat a lot of Doritos or CC chips and then 3 o'clock in the morning. There are different actors or players out there on the cybersecurity theater. And we're going to talk about that. So, learning outcomes. For you to successfully complete this unit, we're going to have a look at, you'll need to be able to develop, implement, and strategies relating to network security issues and threat mitigation. So you're going to look at first of all, we have to figure out what the security issues are, and the threat mitigation. How can we try and prevent these attacks, or what can we do to minimize the attacks? What strategies can we do to protect our system, and the most important thing, our data? Integrate different security measures and access controls to provide enhanced levels of security. Again, security guard, blocking access to our switches, like when you plug in your cables into the outlet. Maybe we don't have those accessible. Maybe we block them, so even if they do put the cables in there, the Cisco switches, for example, will know not to accept any new device. So we'll go through that as well. Communicate and disseminate business-wide policy in relation to network security and focus on cybersecurity frameworks. This is going to be more about governance. This is more about policy. So really important, even though some might find it a bit dull and bit dry at times, but it is really critically important. These are policies and rules, and for example, the place that you're working for might say, we must use 12 characters for our passwords. It must be a mixture of numbers and letters, uppercase, lowercase. We must change our password every 10 days. That's an example. Maybe we might say that when we're employing new people into our organization, they must have security clearance. We must verify their resume, their CV. So these are policies in relation to network security. And there are special frameworks that are developed by other organizations that we can use as templates. Evaluate and recommend appropriate solutions to emerging network security issues. Security is an ongoing, every day is cybersecurity. You don't just do it once a year, fix something or do mitigation. It's every day, and every day is something new that appears. What solutions are we going to implement to deal with those new security issues? Finally, analyze a variety of network auditing and forensic tools used to explore or prevent network security incidents. So first of all, we're going to audit the traffic. We're going to use things like Wireshark. We're going to see how and record them as well, and then we're going to perform a forensics on that, which is a really interesting subject. And this is something that you might be interested in do later on as a part of your role. Collect evidence and pass it to the authorities, or collect evidence, pass it to your team leaders. Maybe someone has been doing something they shouldn't be doing, and we need evidence to be able to pass on to the authorities, or maybe train the user, say, look, you've been doing this sort of activity, it's against our policy and procedures, and here it is, we're showing you what you've done. Some attributes that if you have these attributes, or if you learn these attributes, you'll be very successful in this study and in life in general, really, but particularly with this class in Swimmer Online. And I'm here to help you improve these things as well. Verbal communication. You will do a recording and you'll be speaking to me on the phone, and this is essential. You need to communicate to me verbally things that you're struggling with. You need to articulate it in a way. Communicating using different media, emails, phone, and video. We're communicating on different levels. Collaboration and negotiation. I think I failed to mention before, and I'll have to go back to about we're going to do collaborate sessions, and that'll be at 7 p.m. every Thursday. We can negotiate on that collaboration. Maybe you don't like that time. Maybe that time's not convenient for most of you. We have to organize and negotiate a better time for everyone. And I'm fully flexible on that time as well. And just really quickly, I forgot to mention this earlier, but we do have a collaborate session once a week. So you go to collaborate, and this collaborate will take you to the collaborate session. Another way you can get there, in the announcements, I'll send you a link as well. But in the discussions, I've got a collaborate hub, and I've linked this to the discussion group for the learning group 1, and there's the links there. Every week I'll send you the same link, so you don't have to go hunting and searching for it. There's nothing worse than wasting time looking. Like if it's 7 p.m. and you just jump online 7:58 and you're trying to find the link, don't worry, it's everywhere. I'll put it everywhere for you. All right, let's go back to the syllabus. So collaboration and negotiation, teamwork, roles and process. We're going to work as a team. Me and you and the other students in this group, we're going to work as a team, and we're going to and that's a good way. You can learn from other students as well. And another great way of learning is actually to teach others. I find that if I want to learn a concept, I'll learn it, but then for me to retain that information, I'll teach others. When I became a teacher or a technical instructor or an educator, I found that I had a lot of knowledge gaps, and by teaching and going over everything again, I'm actually starting to learn a lot more concepts. I wish I could go back to my old jobs now. Information and technical literacy. When we're in IT and cybersecurity, there's a lot of jargon. There's a lot of words that are complicated. There's a lot of things that don't make sense in a normal conversation. So you'll have to adapt, and you have to learn the acronyms and the way that IT people talk to each other. No set text. So there's some reading, but there's no books you have to go and buy. We're active learning, so we're in an active learning environment. Undertaking regular online discussions is the way to go. I guarantee you. If you collaborate in the discussion group, you will succeed. There's direct statistics that show that. There's a direct cause and effect statistical evidence that's saying that if you're engaged in discussion groups, you perform better. And again, I will be focusing on discussion boards first, and we do say 28 to 48 hours. It will be quicker than that. Let's look at the assignments. The first one is going to be analyzing data traffic flows. There will be a file that's been pre-configured, so someone has already created some network traffic and has recorded it and stored it. They used Wireshark for that. Now our job in this assignment is to get that file, import it into Wireshark, and view it and analyze it. And there's a task there that we need to do to see what happened. Bit of forensics there, really interesting. And you have to talk to us about it with a 15-minute presentation. Please do not fear these presentations. They are awesome. They are really, really good for you to learn. And it might be sometimes some students may be a bit anxious or a bit uncomfortable, and I understand that. And you can talk to me about this if you like. We can work through this, but this is a really, really, really fun task. You'll enjoy it. And there's some 1,500 words as well. The assignment 2, security plan, 2,000 words. we're going to set up create a plan on how to implement, find the security vulnerabilities, how we're going to mitigate it, how we're going to plan, and if something happens, how we're going to deal with that. And the third one is the wireless security standards. 2,000 words, 10 minutes presentation. So there's different wireless security standards. There are terrible wireless security standards like WEP, wireless wide equivalent protocols, which it was supposed to be as secure as wire, but it's for example, you can go now and get a tool and you can crack WEP passwords in like 3 or 4 minutes. Then there's WPA3, which is actually very, 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 very powerful, strong encryption algorithms within wireless. Your job is to research and provide a presentation. We will go through these assignments in depth when the time comes, when we're getting close to the submission times. You will have enough information to be able to perform the task. But yeah, they're the weighting. Assignment 1's got a big weighting. You have plenty of time for the first assignments, but between assignment 1, 2, and 3, in between, you don't have much time at all. My advice is to knock this out of the park as quickly as you can. Even start working on it as soon as you get the knowledge. Referencing uses the Swinburne Harvard. There are some links here if you need help with that. If you need this technical support, maybe your Mac is not working with Wireshark or some other kind of issue, there's the technical support page that you can access. You can use the help as well, help email, and there's a telephone number there. There's no team assignment, but we are working as a team. No examinations. The assignments has a word count between under 10% or above 10%. Video presentations have to be within 5 minutes. And if it exceeds 5 minutes, so if it's 15 and it's 20, anything after 15 minutes, I can't mark according to this document. And I've done a lot of these in my previous studies. And 15 minutes sounds like a long time, but trust me, it's not long at all. I'm doing a presentation now to you right now. It's like 22 minutes. My intention was to keep it within 15 minutes. I'm already over, and I'm not finished yet. So it is really easy to go over that. So pay attention to the time limits. If you go over the time limit and you ask me, Harry, look, I really have something special to say, or really, I'll look through it. I'll consider that. If you're going to run late, you can apply for some assignment submission. This between 24 to 48 hours is something that we'll consider. Any longer than that, you'll need to justify. And I know that life happens. Maybe you're not feeling great. You're having family issues, or you're just feeling so much pressure. Please let us know. Communicate with me directly. If it's more to do with this assignment's too hard, I don't understand this. I'm feeling pressure. I can't handle this assignment. I'm pulling my hair out. Just in that case, reach out to me first. Let's work through it. Let's work it out. Maybe you don't need that extension in time. Maybe you just need a little bit of help to get through that difficult patch. So you ask me, Harry, look, I'm struggling with this assignment. Before I ask an extension, all right, how can I solve this? But if you really do need that extension, give me as much advance warning as you can. Bear in mind that assignment 1, 2, and 3, there's only 2 weeks between each assignment. So try not to extend it too long if you can. If there's extraordinary circumstances, there is a procedure to get an extension for that. There's a special consideration application form, so we can work through that with you. So again, life happens, stuff happens, and we're going to accommodate you when that does happen. But if you don't need to, talk to me. Let's work through this. Student charter, behavior and well-being. So we shouldn't have to say this, but be polite to each other in discussion board. You can yell at me if you like, I don't mind. But, well, you shouldn't yell at your ELAs. But unacceptable behavior, things like discriminating someone due to their heritage, culture, race, gender, sexual orientation, physical appearance, anything like that. It's just really not tolerated at all in Swinburne Online, and really shouldn't be tolerated in society in general. So no bullying, violence, and definitely no sexual harassment. These are all big no, and there's zero tolerance on this. Since you're not complying with Swinburne Occupational Health and Safety, even though we're studying online, my advice is to get a really good chair. I spend extra money on this chair, which helps with my back. So you're online students, you're doing 12 hours recommended is, so yeah, just shift like I just did then. We recommend 12 hours a day, 12 hours a week for study. Might be less, might be more. That's a long time to be sitting on a desk, and you've got other things too. So make sure that you're sitting straight and you're comfortable, and that you're moving around. That every 15 minutes or so, stretch. We have accessibility services here at Swinburne. So if you have a disablement or disability of some type, we can absolutely accommodate you. If you have hearing impediments or visual impairments, we are more than capable of assisting to you as well. You can feel assured and comfortable that you can still be able to perform within this unit. The marking process, usually we will release the grades within 10 working days. But anything between 45 to 49%, there'll be a review of that assessment. Okay, we'll have a look at. We will review it. If you have an issue with the mark, say you got a distinction and you thought that you earned a high distinction, you can come to me first, and we'll have a look at it again. Yeah, please provide complaints, suggestions. We'll give you feedback as well. We respectfully acknowledge the Wurundjeri people and their elders past and present, who are the traditional owners of the land on which Swinburne's Australian campuses are located in Melbourne's east and outer west. Okay, so that will be about it for me. Please, again, just a few things to go over again. Discussion boards, critical. I'll get to you really quickly. I'll call you maybe once or twice a week, especially in the early parts, to see how you're going, see if I can help you, see if we can get some things clarified. You can email. We'll have collaborative sessions every week. I'll be making an announcement weekly basis, and we'll have special sessions for our assignments as well. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone, and thank you for viewing, and hopefully see you soon. Take care.